This romance-based arc reading vlog that I wanted to come out for Valentine's Day has now turned into an anti-love.
Hey y'all, my name is Nat. I hope you're having a terrific day today, and for this video we are going to be doing an arc reading vlog. Alright, before we get into anything bookish, make sure to hit like and subscribe down below, as well as tell me in the comments, are you excited for these books? Are you wanting to read these books? Are they on your TBR now? Let's talk about it in the comments. Alright, so as usual, thank you so much to Netgalley, the authors and the publishers, for copies of these books in exchange for an honest review. I am really excited for both of them because these, ironically, are both second chance romances, and that was not planned. Just kind of worked out perfectly that both these books come out just after Valentine's Day, so it felt perfect to do a romance-based arc reading vlog of them. First up, coming out on February 11th from St. Martin's Griffin, I received a copy of Get Lost with You by Sophie Sullivan. I didn't realize when I requested this that apparently it is actually the second in a series. However, it's a companion novel series, so it's not too big a deal that I'm starting with the second one. As I said, it's a second chance romance, which was honestly the big selling point for me to request a copy of it. I've also heard good things about Sophie Sullivan's books, so I've been a little intrigued to try out her stuff. In this one, we're following Jillian, who has moved back to town relatively recently and unfortunately is living with her parents alongside her 9-year-old daughter, somewhere around that age. However, in comes Levi, her childhood crush, who is also best friends with her two older brothers. He has just recently come back to town after moving away to try and live out a big chef dream. I guess maybe that wasn't quite what he was wanting, and so he returned. And when the two of them run into each other again, it seems like feelings from the past are resurfacing. It looks really cute, and I'm really hopeful, especially because I do like second chance romance. Plus, I also tend to like the brothers best friend angle, so I'm interested to see how Sullivan handles that as well. And who knows, if I really enjoy this one, this might be a new romance series for me to check out. Apparently, next one is also from St. Martin's Griffin, and it releases on February 18th, Never Planned on You by Lindsay, hameroff. This one I've been especially excited for because Michelle at Michelle's Library on Instagram gave it 5 stars, and I trust her judgment. It looks like in this one we're following Allie, who lives every day to its fullest, and at one point she actually ended up getting tattoos with a complete stranger while on vacation in Britain. That's a choice, girl. Recently she has returned home to Baltimore and is now interning as a wedding planner, and while there she ends up running into Graham, her tattoo twin. The two of them end up reconnecting and it seems really wonderful, which is great up until she finds out that he is actually the groom for a wedding she is going to be working here soon, where she is determined to prove that she's not a flake. She actually can stick with a job. So it does seem like this is gonna have a little bit of like the J-Lo wedding planner movie going on. A little curious to see how that plays out, I'll be honest, but it also seems like this is going to be a pretty silly fun time, especially with this sort of a heroine. I am very intrigued to see how this one goes. I will talk to you guys again when I've started into one of these books. Hey guys, so I have started into Get Lost with You, and I forgot that if there's not some sort of antagonism at the start between the two main characters, I get bored. I'm just being dramatic. That's not inherently true. Is that a problem? Am I the drama?
Is it me? Am I the drama? I don't think I'm the drama.
But that's not 100% true. I do feel like with a few books I've read where they are friends at the start, I still can get invested into the story if I feel like there's good banter between the main characters at the very least. I'm a big fan of banter or just like teasing, probably because that's how I am in most of my own relationships. But this has just been like cut and dry sweetness. And honestly, I am like 30% in. Not even. I think I'm like 25% in. And I'm already getting bored. These two haven't even become a couple yet. But I already can tell it just feels like the author is really going to be stretching in order to create conflict here. Because both of the main characters pretty immediately fall back into having feelings for one another. Levi was best friends with her older brothers growing up, and so when he was like 17, he went off to a culinary school, and when he left, she attempted to kiss him to showcase her feelings, and basically it turned into a disaster, so nothing really ever came of that. In roughly the 10 years he's been gone, Jillian has gotten married, had a kid, gotten divorced. So the whole thing is that, you know, she doesn't really trust men again, and she's still having to kind of heal from the drama of her prior relationship. That's about it though. That's literally it. And even with that, it doesn't actually feel like she has issues with starting a new relationship. She clearly has feelings for him. So it just feels a little
contrived. The author is telling us this, but she's not actually convincing me of it in the characterization of Jillian. Levi, on the other hand, like basically has some minor drama with his dad. I think that's about it. So far, it's really just been these two kind of re-getting to know each other and flirting. And like I said, I'm 25% in and I'm bored. That is not super common in romance books for me. I'm usually like really engaged at the start of the story. If I get bored, it's normally after they become a couple. So I'm gonna keep trying with this one. I will continue with it, but I'm forewarning right now. It's a strong possibility I'm gonna DNF unless like something dramatic happens. This just feels a little too easy, a little too clean, a little too simple. What's been presented thus far doesn't feel like it's actually going to matter. Like these don't feel like big issues. They don't even feel like little issues that are being blown out of proportion. They just feel like little issues. And again, I think it's because of how Sullivan is writing them. I think there could be more there, but she's not making them feel like they're important to the characters and thus important to the story and the development of a relationship between these two. Hey guys, so I have attempted to read more and to get lost with you, and I am just feeling very meh on this book. I only maybe got like another 5% in, but I don't care. I don't. It feels so easy. It feels like there is no real tension between these characters. It also doesn't feel like there's really a lot of chemistry. It doesn't seem like even that the relationship is built on a lot, because Sullivan just hasn't really convinced me of much apart from the fact that these two had feelings for each other when they were like teenagers, but that's it. And there was a little bit more around the conflict for the hero character Levi when it comes to his fraught relationship with his father. And sure, I mean, that's a little interesting. The drama has me intrigued, but it's so minimal in the grand scheme of this book that even though this is only like 300 pages, I think I'm gonna DNF it. If I had an audiobook of this, I might push through, but when it comes to ebooks, like I don't have the tolerance for it. I've only just gone back into reading ebooks. I'm not gonna put up with it, and I'm not gonna push myself through a book that I'm not enjoying. Very unexpected way to start this ARC reading vlog, but there definitely is somebody out there that this book would work better for. That person is not me. This feels more like Hallmarky, but it doesn't even seem as though the author is relying on like a lot of comedy or anything else. I mean, it's just the friends to lovers romance really so far. So if that's all you want, if you want something nice, easy, sweet, here you go. This is perfect for you. Not me though, and I'm also fairly certain I saw from other reviewers that this is a clean romance, so it probably is a good thing I am DNFing, seeing as how I don't really tend to read or prefer clean romance, and if I'm already feeling mid about the relationship itself, and then there is no spice, I really would be let down if I push through this book. Sad day, but on to the next. Hey guys, so I've officially started out into Never Planned on You, and so this started really fun with our main character. She is on her last night studying abroad in London and is out to a pub with friends. She ends up meeting one of her friends' roommates for the first time, and they get into a stiff competition of numerous drinking games. I will say the first one, King's Cup, they like tied, and I'm still not really sure how you tie in King's Cup. It's not really possible in the ways I've played it, so I'm intrigued. But after continuously tying, they end up working out that they have to get matching tattoos. Let's just go with to commemorate and leave it at that, and then have one night together before she moves back to Baltimore. Next chapter, we are 8 years in the future. She is doing her best to now work as a event planner after numerous false starts in different career paths, and she's unfortunately living with her parents, who are very much comparing her to her golden child sister, but also trying to like protect her from the real world while trying to push her out of the nest. It's interesting seeing like the dynamics changes that are going on in her family with this. She ends up landing a really big account planning a wedding, and I knew that our hero character was somehow connected
within the wedding. I did not realize he was the actual groom. So now that that's come to my attention, I'm a little nervous for how this is gonna go, because this could easily cross the line into cheating or like push up as close to it as possible. And that's just like a solid turnoff for me when it comes to my romance stories. I do already have a theory that's not what's happening. Like maybe this wedding itself is actually a sham, or like a wedding for a business situation or something like that. But even so, our hero character Graham is very hesitant to tell our female main character Allie, and I don't know, I'm nervous. I'm nervous that some red flags are gonna start flying with this. I also will say, while Allie feels like a very built out character, I'm not feeling a ton from Graham so far. He feels very aloof nerd who is hiding a really funny, sarcastic inside, but in a pretty stereotypical way. We've gotten like a tiny little glimpse under that, and I want to see more. I'm intrigued to see more, but I have so many other things that are making me nervous with how this book's gonna go. Hey y'all, so bad news. In a twist of events, this romance-based ARC reading vlog that I wanted to come out for Valentine's Day has now turned into an anti-love reading vlog, because I have now DNF'd both of the books for this video. This was not planned. I'm very bummed about it. I will fully own the fact that DNFing this one is my own fault. Like, if I had read the synopsis better when I requested this, I might have known what I was getting into, or more likely, I probably wouldn't have requested it because I would have realized what sort of book this is. I will say in this one, I did really like the heroine Allie. I wanted to enjoy this book because I thought she was really funny. I thought she had a lot of gumption. I was really rooting for her. I do feel like in what we saw of like her personal drama, she does kind of have a tendency to make herself out as the victim, and I didn't love that. But I was hopeful, you know, maybe there'd be some growth when it came to that aspect of her character. And again, I wanted her to succeed. I didn't really want her to have a romance with Graham though, because this man is literally getting married. He's getting married to another woman. In the last 25% of this book that I read, there's a lot of typical shenanigans in a setup like this where, you know, obviously everything keeps happening to force these two together alone. So there's lots of sexual tension, there's lots of fun banter, but again, he's engaged, and like it was just this constant little alarm bell in my head going, where even though I would think he and Allie are really cute and they're having these great interactions, back in my mind, he has a fiance. He has a fiance. He has a fiance. And it's not even like she's a terrible person. I mean, not that that excuses cheating, but at the very least, I would like kind of get it a little bit more. But she seems like a cool chick. I don't get why this is set up the way it is. What officially made me decide to DNF it is because there is a line crossed. It's a hard no for me. And I think if the author would have had Graham like come clean about the situation, or, you know, add some context to his relationship with his fiance, any of the things I was suspecting of happening, I would have been able to move past it. But he doesn't. Instead, he doubles down and just reiterates how much he cares about his fiance and like how she is his best friend. It just reinforces like, why is there a romance happening between this man and this woman who are not the ones engaged? It just felt icky. Like it's just too much for me. I'm bummed because this was funny. I liked the female main character, but this is 100% my own fault. I should have read the synopsis better. Also, truth-telling time. I didn't film the intro of this video where, you know, I give an accurate synopsis until after I'd started into this book. That's why in the intro, like, I knew that was happening, but in reality, when I requested this, I had no idea. This is such a shame. It really is. I was hopeful I was gonna like both of these. Both of them have second chance romance aspects, which is one of my fave tropes, but these books were not for me, and I'm very sad. Hopefully, maybe these books will be for you though. They're both coming out here soon, so keep your eyes peeled. And on this kind of sad note, happy Valentine's Day! All right, that's it for today, y'all. Hey, I'm trying to film the outro. All right, so on that note, that's it for today, y'all. Thank you so much for coming to my channel. I really appreciate it. If you made it all the way to the end of this video, leave me a pink heart emoji in the comments. I have all my socials as well as a few ways you can support me, including a Patreon linked in the description. I come out with videos on Monday and Friday, but until then, I hope you continue to have a terrific day. Love you, bye! Now you can have pets.